The Paranormal Room.
The Paranormal Room.
Have you ever encountered something you couldn't explain?
Ghosts. Were they strangers or were they family?
Cryptids, alien encounters,
Strange animal encounters. Child spirits.
whatever your experience, we want to hear about it.
Email your story to WLTK-DB paranormalroom@gmail.com for your chance to share your story on the show. Again, that's WLTK-DB paranormalroom@gmail.com.
We're waiting for your story.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Paranormal Room. I am your co-host, Christina Bloom. I'm here with my co-host, Logan Jacobson. And you are listening to us on WLTK-DB.com or on Facebook or on YouTube or Twitch or I don't even know where else.
Places.
Lots of other places. Someone in my last show said that they found us in Amazon Music.
Oh, wow.
She was listening through Amazon Music. Yeah. So I didn't even know that was an option. So that's cool. So, hey, welcome everybody. I have a few announcements. This Thursday night on Zoom, I will be teaching a spiritual protection class in advance of the holiday season, where we get together with all our crazy relatives and play nice, hopefully. So, you can kind of learn how to manage your own energy there before you get there. And on January 3rd, I'm doing a spiritual channeling also on Zoom. And you can find information on those two events at my meetup page, which is One Spirit Connection, ONE Spirit Connection. And all of the deets are on there, the link to register, all of the information and how to do that. A reminder real quick that the station is closed from December 19th through the 25th. So there won't be a show next week. Actually, there won't be any new shows next week, but you can listen to replays through the YouTube page, WLTK-DB, or through the website, WLTK-DB.com. There should be archives of the shows in both of those places. I'm not sure where else, but definitely in both of those places. Logan, what do you got coming up? Do you have any fun stuff going on your channel?
Oh, yes. We're getting closer to being able to do a Phasmophobia video. I got one more person who is interested and has a VR system. They still have yet to acquire the game. So that project is still in motion. And yes, my fingers are crossed as I say that.
Mine too.
Other than that, I'm going back to Five Nights at Freddy's for everyone else who enjoyed seeing me crap myself in the first video. Hi, Lee. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
But for anyone looking to get in on watching that jump scare fun, please check me out on Turtle Island Gaming at youtube.com.
Awesome. Yeah. I know. I loved it when you were doing those vintage games. That was fun. Maybe you should do that again.
The vintage games were fun. VR is getting a fair amount of traffic right now, but who knows? Maybe I'll do another Sonic episode.
Yeah, Tristan said he's going to have to check that out. Yeah, you were playing Sonic before you were born. I'm just saying. All right, so because I was playing Sonic before you were born. So there you go. All right, we have a fun topic coming up. Magic.
Oh, yes.
Magic. We decided to talk about magic this week. And, magic, I think, is one of those words that has so many different meanings based on how people come to it. Like the magic of the holiday season. Let's see. I went through YouTube. Hope I can see the entire chat now. Well, we can see you, Lee. So that's awesome. Thank you. I don't really know how that system works. Someone's going to have to explain that to me someday.
I'm still figuring out the whole setup wise, how exactly the multi-broadcasting works. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have any...
It's all magic to me.
Yeah, hey. There we go. That's a better segue than what I was doing. I need to step it up. All right.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's like, to me, technology is just hoodoo magic, man. I don't know anything about this tech stuff. If it works, I'm happy. If it doesn't, I'm not. That's what I know about technology. So
honestly, that is the part that matters.
it really is. It really is. Does it work or not? That's the part that matters. So, some people think of magic shows like illusionists on stage. And energy movement is basically magic, I remember that line. I don't know if the name of the movie was Thor, but it was with Chris Hemsley. I don't know what his last name is. Where he was playing Thor. Yeah, he was playing Thor, and he was talking to whoever that female lead was about
Natalie Portman's character.
Okay, yeah, about how what she saw as magic was how he saw science. Do you remember it? Like our magic is Chris Yummy. Yeah, exactly. That's who it is. Exactly, Lee. Chris Yummy, right. We don't need to actually know the last name. We just need to know who it is. So anyway, I love her sense of humor. She has a great sense of humor. So have you dug into any magic this week?
I was actually just doing some reading up on three different subjects. One kind of led into the other. Magic as the concept, magic throughout history, and Aleister Crowley.
Gotta have Aleister Crowley.
I mean, when you are talking about the occult and history, it's almost impossible not to bring up Crowley.
Right.
He was sort of a very well-known occultist.
So enlighten us on the dark side. Is that what I want to say? I'm not really sure.
Let's see. Aleister Crowley coined a technical definition of magic as a technique for bringing about change in the physical world through the force of one's will. Now, obviously, that has presented itself in many cultures throughout history, whether it's through burial techniques like the Egyptians, whether it's through sacrifice like the Maya or the Aztecs, whether it's and a lot of people consider religion to be separate from magic. I honestly just think it's very much one and the same, just approached differently.
Right. I just want you to stop for a moment.
It's the Disney villain beard. It's the Disney villain beard, Tristan. Logan reminds me a lot of Crowley for some reason. I don't know why, but he just does. Are you talking Crowley from Good Omens? Because I will take that compliment. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
I need the contacts.
Yeah. You do, yeah. Lee says light up that shadow. Absolutely. Absolutely. So what else do you have? Sorry, I interrupted you to read Tristan's comment because I thought it was awesome.
Oh, no worries. There's a lot of history of demonizing magic, especially from the church, especially early writers like St. Augustine, who stated that magic was not only did not merely constitute fraudulent and unsanctioned ritual practices, but was the very opposite of religion, because it relies upon cooperation from demons and the henchmen of Satan, as he said. So that obviously started a very long history of headbutting. It continued it.
Yeah. I would say continued is a better word. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. I know for me, it's like magic is it's simple movement of energy, you
Right.
know?
The utilization of energies and resources that are already in place.
Hmm. You know, like technology.
Wouldn't know anything about that, especially not with any of the weird tech issues I encountered. Nope.
It's okay. It's genetic. Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. I'm waiting until any of my cars start on fire. Though my van did start smoking.
That's not good.
Well, that was back when I was living in Illinois.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I remember that van. That kind of
Yeah.
got washed away in a flood, didn't it?
Uh, also, yes. The Druid plow is
Yeah,
no
I
more.
forgot about that. Yep. Yeah, that was weird. That flood thing was weird.
I think I still have that video on my channel where the house where I was living just absolutely flooded. There was a 5-foot fence in the backyard that was completely underwater.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep, I remember the whole neighborhood flooded.
I remember having to
So,
call into work. My boss was very understanding. Um, my roommate's boss, not so much. I heard him on the phone, like, as dude was saying, there's no way out of this neighborhood other than by boat. He's like, well, if I
and
bring
I
a
don't
boat
have one.
by, I heard his boss over the phone. If I bring a boat by, would you still come into work? Like, on one hand, he is trying to extend every opportunity for employment and
Yeah.
monetary gain. On the other hand, give the guy a snow day. Damn.
Fire then water. That's what Lee said. Yeah, fire then water.
And that is me saying that about someone who I personally, my view now about that person is different, but at the time I was like, how can someone catch a break?
Yeah, right. Okay, so you're looking up more stuff about magic while you're talking. So what have you find? Hey there, Dawn
Let's
just
see.
popped in. Hi,
Hi,
Dawn. She was
Dawn.
my guest on my last show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, there's several notable cultures that we know a lot about their superstitions and religious beliefs. I don't know why I said that as separate things. Really, you could just ball that up together most of the time. We got Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Greco-Roman world, and of course the Abrahamic religions: Christianity, Judaism, and Islam.
Muslim, Islam. Yeah.
Let's see. So when
You
I
want to
was
bring Dawn on with
talking,
us?
I
Sorry,
was
go ahead.
focused on talking, not reading.
Right, I know. Sorry. Because we were talking about magic, but I'm looking at Dawn's pop-up here in Magic Hands Reiki. Maybe we should bring her on with us. What do you think?
Couldn't hurt.
All right. Yeah. I can only see Robin's chat comments. Oh, I'm sorry. Lee keeps going back and forth between Facebook and YouTube trying to see everyone's chat comments. Let's see. All right. Todd, if you could post a, oh, you can see Dawn too. Okay. Todd, if you could post a link for Dawn to join us in the studio, that would be great. So while he's doing that, I was thinking about, when I think about magic and healing, I think about, of course I think about Reiki because I'm a Reiki master, but I also think about things like voodoo and like the psychic surgeries that they perform in South America and that sort of thing. I know that there's a lot of stuff that goes on like that, but there are so many things that we think of like in everyday life that actually could be classified as magic, because of the energy that it takes to do it. And psychic ability could be considered magic if you're really, looking at it that far. And I don't know about you, but I feel a text coming in usually about 10 seconds before it does. So I check my phone. There isn't one. I set it down and it buzzes.
I myself have experienced that before.
Yeah.
Or like, say you're traveling, usually alone, and a couple street lights will go out as you approach them.
Yeah. Yep. That too is genetic.
Oh yes. No, I have I've actually done some research into that. There has been some research done into that.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second.
All right. Yeah, I'm just I hope Dawn saw the link because she probably should have if she's watching. Oh, there she is. Hey, Dawn.
Like magic.
Meet Logan. Logan, this is Dawn.
Hey, Logan.
Hello.
Like magic, exactly. What does the research say, Logan? Tristan needs to know. He's getting there. He's getting there, Tristan.
I can only type and read so fast.
So, Dawn, why the name Magic Hands?
Because I do a lot of things with my hands. So I play guitar, and magic channels through the hands with Reiki. And I also do woodworking. So, there's a lot of magic that comes through the hands. And when I first picked the name, it was a friend of mine. She had asked me to be a Reiki healer at a music festival. And I said, that sounds fantastic. I'll do that. And she posted a picture of the flaming hand. And I'm like, from there, everything just kind of took off. So that was just my magic hands.
I love it.
Magic hands Reiki.
I love the owl tapestry.
It's stuck, and thank you. I have been trying to change my name for the longest time, even since I found different notes from even a couple of years ago. And Magic Hands Reiki is it seems to be sticking. So that's it.
I like it.
After that. So yeah.
I just want to say, Lee said that turning left instead of right for no reason saved my life once. I avoided an accident. I love it when that happens, when those messages come through, and that feels like magic, doesn't it? I mean, psychic ability can definitely be magical,
it certainly does feel like magic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's an awesome name, John.
I did find more about this phenomenon of people having a heightened electrical output, biologically speaking.
Good. Let's hear about that.
It is a measurable anomaly wherein someone's like we all know the way that the brain works is tiny electrical signals firing between receptors.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially the human body is a much more complicated potato clock.
That's a good way to put it.
let's just keep the explanation simple for that purpose. This would be that potato clock actually having a measurable output, not just what is traveling back and forth with what's already there. Sorry, I know I'm stumbling on like every other word.
That's okay. That's okay. We all have days like that. Lee is saying LOL, zapping car batteries.
Yes.
What did you say, Don?
I'm just clicking links over here trying to find the YouTube so I can see the other comments too.
Well, they were showing up earlier, but oh yeah, that's right. Well, you're in the studio now. You should probably be able to see them.
There we go.
Okay. There we go. 12-12-22. Yeah, we were talking about the 12-12 portal earlier and the waves of nausea and the energy coming through, and yeah, it was kind of crazy.
All right, so here we are. Despite the name, the sliders phenomena are not simple, not limited to streetlights only. Often, folks who share this ability can't wear watches. They will stop working within a couple of days, regardless of how many new batteries are put in them. They all are also affected. They also affect. This article is very poorly typed. They also affect other electrical appliances such as headlights and alternators in automotive vehicles, lights and light bulbs, and computers. Light bulbs may blow every time a slider touches a lamp or a light switch, or may simply switch off. Computers may freeze up or experience other problems. CD players may change tracks suddenly. Magnetic phenomenon may also manifest. For example, you may be able to use credit cards because the cards may be unable to use credit cards because the cards may become unreliable after they've been carried for a certain amount of time.
That happens to John a lot. Like his debit card will just stop working.
And
John
how
is
many
my
cars
husband,
have you
for those
killed?
who don't know. Oh, I don't even know. I've lost track. Lee's going okay. Logan is having 12 zaps. Watch is running backwards. I've had that too. I've actually started a dead watch once just by holding it. So that was fun. Check. Okay.
Robin, I do seem to have that issue sometimes. Like I cannot move from one spot for several hours, and then suddenly there's like a static discharge when I go to touch something.
Telling you it's genetic. Only
yes,
has it
I'm
too.
finding that.
Yeah. Eel skin wallet. Oh, okay. I got it. Electric eel. Okay. I was trying to make the connection. Now I got it. But magic is basically electricity in some cases. You know, it's energy. It's what moves. And intention can look like magic. At least 4 car batteries. Yeah. I'm sure I probably killed at least 4 cars. I shared that in the last show that I had a car like before I had kids, so a long time ago, and I had put a bumper sticker on the hood that said higher powered, and I was driving one day and the sticker blew off, and that day my car had a full-on meltdown. Like every electrical system melted down. I had 3 flat tires. There was no way that car was moving again, ever.
Yep.
Same day that sticker blew off, and I'm like, oh, for crying out loud, really? Yeah. And then I bought a Renault.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that then after that I bought a Renault Alliance. That was a bad idea. Go ahead.
Which one of your cars was it that there was a short out in the cigarette lighter that was like never used?
Oh, Zach's truck. Yeah, like nobody ever
Zach's
used
truck.
a cigarette lighter, and Zach's truck. Yeah, I was driving it, and then just all of a sudden flames came out of the cigarette lighter. I'm like, freaked me out. Yeah. So long story short, if you have an American-made car, don't let me drive it. American-made cars are not made to handle electricity like mine. They're just not. Wow. All right, let's talk a little bit about using magic for healing, since we have a Reiki healer in our midst here.
By all means.
My sister has a Renault Reliant. Wow, that's amazing. Is it still running? Because mine like made it 2 years or something. Go ahead.
Yeah, talking about using magic for healing, it's almost hard to describe because it crosses into boundaries that our human brains can't even come close to understanding. And when I do a Reiki session or shamanic session, it's opening up this body more of as a channel and trusting what's coming through because of the guides I work with and the different spirit energies I work with. So, you know, it's trusting what comes through and literally watching magic change in people's lives. And it's, you know, the manipulation of matter, the physical body, but it all comes from the energy body because we're all literally made of energy and the photons and the atoms and things. And so watching the magic that comes about, you know, and I I love getting on that track of like, oh, it's just magic. And, you know, I've even joked about being a wizard and things, even though I don't practice ritual magic really. I do some candles. I might do a little bit of oil, but I really don't practice a lot of magic like that. It's more, you know, this is what I want. So this is what I'm going to do. And I guess it would be more chaos magic if you want to describe it as that. But, you know, it's channeling that energy and really connecting to something way bigger than what we are and letting those come through for, you know, the client's highest and greatest good and seeing all this light come in and just experiencing miracles in a lot of ways. And I'm always in awe because I can't claim to do any of that. And you know, it's magic watching these changes in people and to know that, you know, people's lives are absolutely being changed for the better. And it's just being able to watch it. It's just watching somebody's light come on. I can't tell you how heartwarming and how just humbling that is too, because, you know, doing magic, it's a alchemical process that really shifts things, you know, for people's lives and all those around them too as they start to shift. So you know, magic with a C or magic with a K.
Yeah.
You know, and I've, you know, talking about Aleister Crowley, I actually just started reading some because I've been curious and I didn't know anything really about him. And fascinating, super intelligent, very interesting to read, but um, you know, it's understanding those kind of processes because he was such a catalyst in the world for the occult to really bring it into the light and to really bring it out to people. Whether or not it's evil stuff or not, it's really a moot point with a lot of the energy that just simply to talk about it. We have to talk about it. It's, you know, light, dark, you know, things are just in the dark because we don't know about it or we don't talk about it. So, you know, just bring it into the light. So, you know, it's in the information and choosing to work with the different energies at that point, you know, educate yourself first. So that's what I found a
Yeah,
lot with, you know, the
absolutely.
magic coming through. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had similar experiences with that. I just want to share what Robin put down here. Changing people's lives is true magic. And, you know, I
Mm-hmm.
really believe that. And I think about all of the people who've had a positive influence on my life and where I started from. And yeah, pure magic, absolute magic that the people have brought to me that have changed my life over the years. Um, the healing, absolutely. I mean, I'm a Reiki master too. And so, you know, I know those experiences where you just sit back and you go, wow, what just happened in front of me? You know, where it's just,
Yeah.
I didn't, all I did was show up. Like that's all I did was I'm here. That's all I had to do was be here. And it just works through, you know,
Yeah.
and the person receiving it just draws the energy they need. And it really is like, you know, being a hollow tube, it just flows through you and feeling that energy feels magical. You know, at least it does to me to be able to feel that, to be able to just like hold my hands out, think about transferring energy and my hands get hot.
Yeah.
Like all I had to do was think about it. My hands are
Yeah.
hot and tingly, you know? So I just think that's so cool that the way that that energy works. And you said that you don't really like cast spells. You don't really think about doing magic, but it really is magical, you know? And
Mhm.
maybe we should talk a little bit about spell casting and stuff. I haven't cast many spells. I guess intention is the same thing to me as casting a spell. I just don't do it as a ritual. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah. We're on the radio. Talk.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Spellcasting can be a lot of fun, you know, and you know,
Yeah.
I've played around with a few different spells just in different ways because of one, I want to experience it. You know, and two, just to try these things. You can get, it's a connection between yourself and the, say, substances you're using, the intention you're using, along with the angels or different gods that you might talk to have them kind of, work with these different energies. Because all the gods, that's a whole other conversation, with deities and things, but working with the energies and having them come through what they're really meant for can boost things like you would not believe. And these beings are just as real as you and I. We are just spirits. We just happen to be wearing flesh. We're the fortunate ones here, but we can assign them to do things. We can have them help with different things. And again, literally, I want to just talk about talking to the cells in your body, because you can create magic by alchemizing your energy. So talk to them and they will listen. You are water also. So there's science behind talking with water, and the rice experiment, you can talk negative or positive, but back to kind of spell casting, I get off track because I see the squirrel a lot in my head, but it's the spell casting
Those
with different colored
squirrels.
candles.
Yeah.
I use those colored candles all the time. And
Do you?
I also have a crystal grid that I set up with different crystals. I have all kinds of wild different crystals that I use for different purposes. And the one I have set now is working with specifically my guardian angel, because I want a stronger communication, because it's been such an amazing connection. And it's, bringing about real changes in your life, the manipulation of your environment. And that's, a lot of what magic is. And trusting that it's just going to happen. I have no idea how I'm going to get there, but it's going to happen, and it's magic. And
Story
get into
of my
that
life.
play. Get into that play. Yeah, exactly.
All right. So I just wanted to come back here. And first of all, Robin is making me cry. I'm like trying to hold it back. Wow. That's how I felt when I met you, Christina, for the first time. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Robin. Sorry. Lee wants to know if any of us have had an energy vampire. Multiple.
I'm pretty sure everyone's dated one.
It probably. Or married one, or lived with one, or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, the thing about that I have noticed with most energy vampires is that they don't seem to be aware that they are energy vampires. Most of them don't seem to be aware of it. They're just needy people. Yeah.
Despite the fact
I've had
that
a
you're
couple
literally
that
falling asleep for lack of energy.
Right, because they're just sucking the energy. The same.
There are those that are very aware also, and purposefully predate on others.
Yeah, there are
all kinds of lessons in life people can learn.
My thoughts immediately turn to the Hulu series What We Do in the Shadows and their energy vampire Colin Robinson.
I have not seen that.
It's a hilarious and very morbid comedy that's it's filmed like a documentary, but it's obviously pre-written. And it follows around this group of vampires that live in New York, and they're familiar. And one of the vampires is an energy vampire who apparently came with the house.
Interesting.
Huh. Yeah, I might have to check that out.
Very funny.
Yeah,
definitely
energy
not
vampires
for kids,
are
though.
really no, not for kids.
No.
I just wanted to address the energy vampire things. Not sure most of them even know they are vampires. Yeah, Robin, I agree with you. Most of them don't seem to know that they are. They're just people who need something. They need energy, they need light, they need something, and they find people who have it, and they just kind of draw the energy from them, because energy transfer is a real thing. If it wasn't a real thing, energy vampires couldn't exist. They would just, I don't know, learn how to create their own, I guess. Logan, you want to read what Tristan has going on? Sorry.
I just wanted to share this story with y'all. Ashley and I was in New Orleans and went to Main Laveau Magic Shop. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. They had a shrine set up, and we just put 30 cents there. And later on that night, $300 was on the floor. We just was in shock, and had a good rest of our vacation.
I love it.
That is pretty great. Sorry for my messing up.
That's okay. That's okay.
Clearly, I'm having
love
trouble maintaining my grip on the English language today.
Well, and Tristan speaks Kentucky, so it's a different language.
Yeah, that is fair.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's
I was just
awesome. That
talking
is
about
really
that-
cool. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I was just talking about that the other day with a friend with the English language. That I said sometimes I text and I just hope for the best that the words will make sense, because they just
12-12. Yep, here we go again with the 12-12.
Sometimes
Tristan said
sometimes you take 2-3 runs at the sentences, and you just got to let that mini stroke win.
yeah.
Just so you can move on to the next sentence.
Tristan said, indeed, he does speak Kentucky. That's what he's alluding to here, I believe. So, Kentucky, I guess, is its own language.
Anytime someone says indeed, my brain immediately goes to Teal'c from Stargate SG-1, just indeed. Sorry,
I haven't seen
squirrel
that in
brain
so
going
long.
off in another direction.
Yeah, well, between the three of us, we have about 15 squirrels going here, I think. So,
Yeah.
Oh, she's got. Is that musky bait?
Yes, she's talking. Come here. There.
She is a
There she
dog
is.
named musky bait. I'm just
Oh.
saying.
Yes. The teacup chihuahua.
Eyebrows up.
No wonder you named her Musky Bait.
Yes. That's why
Yeah,
I used to piss
Lee,
all
you
the time.
spotted it. I detected a doggo, and I was not disappointed. Yes, the eyebrows went up.
Awesome. Yes, the eyebrows went up at the probably at the name.
No, when she started bending down to pick the dog up, that's when the eyebrows went up.
Oh, okay, gotcha. What a sweet baby. Oh, hey, Karen, welcome. Thanks for tuning in here. I just wanted to kind of riff off of Tristan's story there. I was on a road trip one time, and I had just flat out run out of cash almost, and I had gone to Goodwill because my purse broke and I needed a new purse. And I did not want to pay for a new purse because they're ridiculously expensive. So I had gone into the Goodwill. I went to the purse section and I'm like, okay, I want a red purse because, red is root chakra. It's about things on earth. It's about abundance and money. So with that in mind, I went and I picked out a red purse. And I was headed up to the checkout, and literally somebody put their hands, somebody nobody could see, obviously, put their hands on my shoulders, turned me around and sent me back to the purse section. And I'm like, all right, I know enough to follow spirit when they're being pushy, right? So I get back there, and this is not a purse I would have chosen. It was a black purse, and it had kind of a embroidered designs on it, like Hispanic kind of, like Mexican kind of designs. And it was a pretty purse, but it's not something I would have been drawn to. And it was kind of quilted. So, but the thing was, it was in the back of the row, and it by itself, it went like that. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's the one I'm taking. So
Wow.
I shuffled through, I pulled it off, I went up, I paid like $2.99 for this thing. It was not an expensive item. I get out into my car and I open it up to start transferring stuff from my broken one, and I reached in and there was $112 in cash in it.
Nice.
Yes, thank you for the magic.
That
Yeah,
is
no
a good
kidding.
story and a good example.
Yeah,
I think it is about time for our break, though, because we're like 10 minutes
we went
past
way
it.
past. We did. That is so cool. It is awesome. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we will be back.
If you're a fan of the paranormal world, then you'll love WLTK-DB Talk Radio. Talk shows bringing you the latest on everything paranormal, cryptozoological, metaphysical, true crime, psychic readings, and more. The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.
And we're back. Are we?
Yeah, I'm
think
having
so.
internet issues. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Mine just came
okay.
back online. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah.
I was confused because I said we're back and no one reacted. I was like, is it on my end?
You
No,
are
it
good.
was on my end. Sorry.
Okay.
In fact, my internet is really low. You guys might end up finishing the show without me.
Uh-oh.
Helio? Helio?
Man, contain your energy, Christina.
Yeah, I need to pull it back in, and I need to kick some people in my house off the internet, apparently. So, pull it in. All right. So, Logan, you've been hot and heavy on the research while we've been chatting. What do you got?
Oh, yes. I have another notable occultist that we all will have undoubtedly heard of. Mathematician and English physicist Isaac Newton produced works exploring chronology, biblical interpretation concerning the apocalypse, and especially alchemy. He was very interested in the founding principles behind alchemy and the concepts. I personally am fascinated by the subject myself, even though it's considered very, I guess, by many hokey and very, very outdated. But I enjoy the principle behind it of, you can't necessarily create something, but you can change it.
Right. Well, that is the basis of energy, right? You can't create or destroy it, but you can change it.
Right.
Yeah. Interestingly enough,
Alchemy
I'm on a
is
podcast called
fascinating.
Apps Alchemy.
Oh, cool.
Interesting. Alchemy is really interesting.
It is.
It is. I agree.
I've been getting into it recently. I read this one book. It's called Alchemical Psychology, and it blends science and woo. Fascinating manual. But it talks all about how to work with the elements in your body, how to alchemize, because when that's the philosopher's gold. The philosopher's stone is when you alchemize your own self and self-actualize and self-realize, because you become gold. You can literally manifest anything then when you're right,
It's interesting you mentioned the philosopher's stone, because I just found the part in this little article here that talks about Newton's alchemical research, and he himself was obsessed with the idea of the philosopher's stone.
Interesting.
But him not having
at least
the multicultural context that we have these days, it imagined it more to be like a physical object.
Right.
Yeah.
Lee said the last book she read was the Lost Alchemy. Has anyone read
heard of that
Ebony?
one?
You read that?
I have not read it yet.
I'm not sure I've read that one.
Tell us a bit about it, Lee.
Yeah, tell us a bit about it. I have read the one that what did you say? Psychological alchemy.
Alchemical psychology. Yeah, the alchemical psychology.
That's the one. Yeah, I did read that a while back. I don't remember a lot of it, but I did read it.
Yeah. It's a fun read too. It's not, some books are very wordy, I guess would be one way to put it, but that one is a very easy read. Very fast.
Hold on a minute. I want to put in a plug here. So you guys just, talk amongst yourselves and I'll be right back.
Okay. On the subject of
Right.
alchemy, a lot of early alchemists obviously obsessed with the idea of turning more base metals into gold.
Mhm.
There is actually a very dangerous process, but a process through which lead can temporarily take on the properties of gold.
Interesting.
However, it does make it incredibly radioactive.
Yeah.
It was discovered by accident during a Russian test using nuclear materials, wherein the outer 2 inches of their radiation shielding had been turned into this irradiated gold, so to speak.
Huh.
Sadly, they did not discover how radioactive it was until it was too late. And the
Interesting.
energy necessary to do that, number one, how are you going to use the gold? You can't get near it without it killing you. And it eventually just
Right.
turns back into lead.
Huh.
Okay. Lee said she's right about that. So as long as we're
Thank you.
talking
I'm
about
not the only
books,
one who's done research there.
I just wanted to put in a plug for our producer.
Oh yes, Todd Bates.
I have Todd's book. I haven't read it yet. I full confession here. I haven't read it yet. I haven't started it, but I'm going to because I'm super excited about it. I want to read Todd's story. And then as long as I'm plugging his book, I might as well plug my own, right? So yeah, where's my all right.
Yeah,
One at a
definitely.
Well, as long as you're plugging that, I'm going to go ahead and plug my eligibility for doing the audiobook. Todd, give me a call.
Awesome. Yeah. And then I
I'll
also
send you
have
my rate.
Wisdom for the Age of Ascension. Yeah. So those are my 2 books. Yeah.
Wonderful reads.
Sell it before it turns back into lead and tell them not to touch it until you leave. Talking about the gold.
Yeah, don't touch that gold for a while. It's kind of spicy.
Hot.
Yeah. Very hot and spicy.
Radiation
Robin,
is
which
just
book are you
spicy
referring
existence.
to? Robin said she started it, hasn't gotten very far, but I don't know if she's talking about Todd's book or one of mine. So I was just asking which book she's talking about. Because, I mean, as long as I'm putting in a plug for Todd, I'll put one in for me too. So I do have them in stock. If
absolutely.
anyone wants to get a hold of me, I can send you oh, Lee just got Intuitive You. Awesome. Thank you, Lee. Oh, okay. Robin said Todd's. I do have some books in stock. So if you're looking for some stocking stuffers, get a hold of me and I'll send off a signed copy for you. So
It's spreading.
just wanted to.
The lack of ability to speak is spreading.
It is. It is.
Group theory.
All right. You're welcome, Todd.
Group theory is really interesting.
I know, right? It's like it's contagious from how many miles away?
Yeah.
Well, talking about magic,
technically
right?
none.
Well, speaking
Right?
of magic and psychic abilities,
Mm-hmm.
the idea of yawning being contagious, right?
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone watched a lot of Mythbusters, but there was an episode where they covered that, and they couldn't explain how, but they put people into like separated units that were monitored by microphone and camera, and purposefully gave them things in there that would make them bored, trying to elicit a yawn. And eventually, once one person did, you saw a ripple effect from there. Like, even though they could not see each other, they could not hear each other, they were not aware of each other's presence other than the fact that they know that there's lots of cubicles. And still the ripple persisted, which seems to suggest that humans at a basic level are capable of at least low-level telepathy.
100%.
I think I read an article.
Have you heard
once.
of-
Yeah, that's interesting.
HeartMath Institute has
Yes.
done a lot of study on this.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Mhm.
because that you'll
Yeah.
pick up on somebody's energy before your brain will catch up. You know, the brains are the slowest, and
Oh,
this
yeah.
planet is so backwards because that's how we're taught to think. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know,
Completely.
that's why you turn before a tree falls or something, because you just pick up on it. You know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lee said, I think the radioactive gold had something to do with cold fusion. You are correct, Lee. Which is part of why it would be so expensive to make it, because just kickstarting that reaction takes so much energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd probably be a one
Robin
shot
can make her
deal,
little dog yawn. Robin can make her little dog yawn.
Well, that
I
makes
love
sense.
that.
That would make sense if dogs have, evolved alongside us.
Right.
Right.
The fight or flight
The
response
flight,
as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly. I read a study one time that only people who are empathic yawn when other people yawn. Like people who don't have empathy don't.
Huh.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, it's certainly a litmus test I'm going to have to look out for.
You know,
I might just start yawning around people just to see how they react. Huh. Noted.
Oh, do a little
you're a
social experiment
sociopath. I'm
boredom.
out of here.
No, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want them to know I'm onto them.
Yeah, I think I was once married to someone like that because he never yawned when someone else did. Yeah.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Oh, I know you know who I'm talking about. Yeah. So Tristan said, "Yeah, I need to try that out. Try it out on your coworkers, Kristen. Let's see who's doing what there, huh?"
Walk into the break room like,
that would be awesome. Yeah. It's so funny because like when I do a psychic or wellness fair or something, which is basically the same thing, narcissist, yeah. One
Kristen, you are
person will
correct.
yawn in the whole room. It's like a chain reaction. Like everybody in the whole room will yawn. And it's like, we're not even really tired. Stop with the yawning already. It's just really funny. Never tell a psychopath they are a psychopath. That's probably really good advice. Yeah.
Oh, yes. It does
True
not
story.
go well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I speak from experience. It does not go well.
Same with narcissists and sociopaths. Don't tell them. No, let their psychologist handle that.
Yeah. Leave that to the
Yeah.
professionals.
Karen, just laughing faces. I love it. So yeah, basically, like empathy could also be seen as something magical too. You know, when you can feel other people, and I have the let's call it a gift of being a physical empath. So if I'm around you and you have pain, I physically feel it. So, that's just loads of fun. But what it is, though, is a message. It's a message. All it's doing is giving me information so I can help you. And then I say, thank you for the information. Go away now, because I do not want to be carrying that pain. I do, because it took me years to figure it out. It took me years to figure out that most of the pain I was carrying wasn't even mine. So yeah. I know.
It's a good practice.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced what I would call, I'm not even sure what to call it, a reverse empathy? Okay, so how my energy works is with different people, especially if I'm friends with them or a little closer with them, the energy will work where they'll actually experience the pain or what I'm going through, and even if I'm not experiencing it. For example, when I was married to my children's father, he would get the morning sickness and he would get the leg cramps and everything when I was pregnant with our children, and I never got them. I never experienced it, but he got it. So that's a really unique energy to learn how to learn about doing that.
Wow.
And it's something to be very, very mindful of, because I haven't played around with anything like that. It just hasn't been there yet, but it's learning how to tune out or recognize other people's emotions coming in versus your own has been one of the biggest keys for any empaths out there to navigate this, know yourself.
Yeah. And like Robin says, if she hears about someone's pain, she starts crying. It's an automatic thing. She just starts crying. And that is actually, Robin, I don't know if you know this, it's a healing technique, because you are literally trying to take their pain away from them and release it on their behalf. You don't even have to be conscious of the fact that you're doing that, but that is a healing technique that you can, that you try to cry away someone else's pain. I think it would work best if it was done with intention. That might be more effective, but maybe it works already just like it is. Tristan, Ashley picks up on emotions really bad. If I'm having a bad day, she's having a bad day. I'm sorry. That just makes it worse. Yeah. That just makes it worse. Karen says that she's an empath also, and it can be so hard at times. I agree, it can. Lee, Go ahead, Logan.
Lee says, I work in disability and can figure out what their diagnosis is before they tell me. A lot.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That is a lot. Wow.
I can't imagine.
I can.
I know you can.
Unfortunately. Yeah, Robin, try it with intention. Let me know how that works. And I've known other people with that same healing ability, and when they turned their intention and attention to it, it actually helped heal other people. So I think that's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really interesting
transmuting that energy too, so you're not hanging on to the other person.
Right? Yeah. Don't hang on to it. I mean, if you're crying it out for someone else, cry it out of you. Out. Don't hold on to that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Let's see. We did not actually talk about spell casting, which is interesting. I diagnosed my sister's disease 6 months before her doctor did. I have done that too. It's a really weird feeling. I mean, not with my sister, but with other people, where I've done readings on them and I can feel like what's going on in their body. And I'm like, maybe you should go get this checked out. And
right. Obviously, that's something you want to confirm.
Right. I mean, and I'm not a doctor. I can't legally diagnose anything, but I'll just say I'm picking something up in this area. You may want to go get it checked. And because that's all I can legally say without getting sued. But with one gentleman in particular, he took me seriously and he went to his doctor. His doctor refused to do any tests and laughed him out the door because of where he got the information. 6 months later, he had a heart attack because of the information that was given to him. And the doctor didn't follow through on it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I'm not medically trained either. So be careful with the diagnosing there. I mean, with your sister, that's one thing, but you can get in a lot of trouble. I literally knew somebody who wrote on a piece of paper not a diagnosis, but a prescription for water. Like literally wrote it out as emphasis. He wasn't a doctor or anything, but he was trying to get someone to drink water so that they would hydrate. And it was someone who's like, I don't like water. Right. So he's just like, this is important. He wrote it down, handed it to the guy, had an amount that he was supposed to drink and how many times a day. That made it a prescription and he got sued.
Oh my gosh.
It's water.
It's water.
Wow.
Exactly. This was like in the 70s. It was like a long time ago.
Okay.
But still.
Well, you can die from water.
Well, I mean, but probably
you can
not
overhydrate.
You can die from too much of anything.
Yeah.
I'm sure
oxygen is just a slow poison.
Yeah.
Oxygen is just a slow poison throughout our lives.
There you go. I'm sure he did not write down a large enough quantity to drown somebody. But,
yes, one Olympic swimming pool per day.
Yeah, here you go. Ashley uses Google for her medical advice. She has already died 9 times. LOL. Yeah, how is that funny?
Deal have you dead?
Yeah, no, trying to diagnose yourself over the internet is the fastest way to induce a panic attack.
Karen's just like, no comment. I love it. You guys are so much fun. I said it last week. I'll say it again. We have the best chat rooms on radio. We do. We absolutely have the best chat rooms. You guys are amazing. Okay, so last week, I'm trying to decide if I want to run this experiment, because last week when we went over time, my camera went fuzzy.
Oh, time to find out again.
Not too many cats. Can't die from that unless you're allergic to them.
You can absolutely die from that.
Yeah.
There is a parasite known to be found in cat feces that can get into the dust. Yes.
Say that again, Don.
Toxoplasmosis.
There you go.
Thank you. It caused some very strange and very harmful behaviors.
Yeah, like that's why pregnant women are not supposed to change cat boxes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Toxoplasmosis.
Yep.
Cats will eat you without remorse.
This is true. They won't even wait for you to get cold.
How many cats do you have, Tristan? Foxes. There you go. Karen, foxes. All right. I know Tristan has cats. I just don't know how many.
Well, we're at almost a full minute over, and your webcam hasn't gone out.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
And
Still
Karen
clear.
has 3. Awesome. All right, you guys, thank you again so much. This was kind of a chaotic episode, but it was a lot of fun. Just makes you love cats.
Doesn't it, just?
Chaos magic.
Doesn't it? Yes. And we had a visit from a dog. So, we've got the pets covered on this episode. And pets have their own magic.
Oh, absolutely.
Pets have their own magic. Like, I have never been unhappy petting a dog or a cat. I just love them. So, 2 cats. Okay. Have a great night, guys. Thanks for tuning in, Karen. One of the cats is named Tristan. Are you kidding me? Lee has a cat named Tristan. Tristan, do you have a cat named Lee?
Oh, that would be a weird little loop.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Please tell me you have a cat named Lee.
Wait, let me check the list. That is awesome. Oh my God, you guys crack me up.
I have 1 cat by my feet right now.
Oh.
No, we're not that creative.
Fair.
Well, if anybody's interested, the replay for Be the Change, the episode we just did, is already up on the WLTK-DB Talk Radio Facebook page. So, Dawn, if you want to go grab your episode, you can do that. Yeah. So,
awesome. I will do that.
The replay for this will be up soon too. So, you weren't planning on doing 2 shows, but thank you for joining us.
No. Yeah, thanks for the invite. That's fun.
We have a 12-foot pumpkin skeleton named Harold, though. There is that. There is that.
Named Harold. That's good.
All right. And Rocket. There we go. All right. You guys, thank you all so much. This has been so much fun. I just radio's addictive, Dawn. I'm warning you. This stuff is addictive.
Yeah, I've already looked at the site. I know I like to talk and I like to meet people. And so I think some stuff will be coming out.
Awesome. All right, everybody, have a...
my sleeve.
I know it's only December 12th, but we're off next week. So have a great holiday, whatever it is that you're celebrating. Have a great holiday. I know Logan and I are celebrating solstice this year, so that'll be cool. I don't know about fun, but it'll be cool.
Yeah.
Literally.
No, it's gonna be hot, literally, but I'll tell you about that later. So,
and then suddenly very cold.
And then suddenly very cold. Yes, exactly. And then we will be back on the 26th. What I'd like to talk about when we come back on the 26th, if it's okay with you, Logan, is I want everyone to pay attention to the paranormal stuff that happens over the holidays when you get your crazy family together.
I unfortunately will have little to talk about in that regard.
Oh, well, you're welcome to come to our house and have brunch. So
I appreciate that.
Dawn, you're welcome too if you want to join us. I'll send you the
address.
All
right. That sounds like a good time.
Awesome. All right, you guys take care, and we will see you all in a couple of weeks.
All right.